Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. For today's video, we are going to be doing a 2021 NBA trade deadline tier list. So basically what we have for you guys is we all know the NBA trade deadline is coming up very quickly. I believe it's at the beginning of March. So we have a few different categories right here. I'm going to kind of tell you guys and rank these teams based off of where they're at this NBA season, if they should do some sort of like big time major trade deadline move, or just kind of do nothing at all, man. So we got trade for a star, trade for a quality starter, a minor trade, maybe sign like a role player or something like that, a rebuild type of trade, get rid of a big contract, whatever you really need to do, or just do nothing at all, man. So keep in mind, I don't watch every single NBA team every single night. I don't know the full depth of everybody's roster and who plays well on a nightly basis and stuff, man. So you guys let me know in the comment section below what you think your favorite team should do. If I missed a note or something like that, man, just let me know. I read all the comments and it's good to learn and all that good stuff, man. So yes, and also if you guys don't mind dropping that like on that video, bro, 1,000 likes is always the goal. Always greatly appreciated. And if you're new, hit that subscribe button, man. I feel like I've asked you plenty. You got to tell your damn, you can tell your damn online learning teachers you don't got to do homework now, man, because, Professor Crispy gave you guys a different assignment, okay? So here we go. We are going to start with the Atlanta Hawks. Now, this one's interesting because, they do have John Collins who they're talking about trading. So there's kind of two different departments you can look at this, man. You can, do trade for a star. I don't know if John Collins by himself, though, is worth getting a star. Like, I just don't know if you're going to get, like, a better player than John Collins in a type of trade. Now, if you want to do something like John Collins, DeAndre Hunter, or something like that, try to get Bradley Beal, maybe toss some picks, then that's a direction to go. For me personally, I just think the Hawks need to trade for a quality starter. They can get somebody like, I don't know, man, do a trade with the T-Wolves and trade John Collins for like Malik Beasley, who's like an 18-point per game scorer, and maybe like a protected draft pick or something like that. And I think that would be really good for the Hawks. Obviously Malik and Trae Young would be a great scoring backcourt. You can put Gallo at the Florida spot. Maybe you could trade for, I believe Vanderbilt is who the power forward on the T-Wolves is right now. He's a solid, athletic player and stuff. So, maybe just something like that, man. I feel like it's probably their best case to kind of really get things going because they're currently 12-16 on the season. Okay, next up we have the Boston Celtics. So the Boston Celtics are kind of an interesting team. In the end of the day, when it comes down to the man, like, I think Kemba Walker is going to figure things out. I really do. For whatever reason, he's really been struggling. Obviously, Marcus Smart, I have him in the lineup. Really coaches the team defensively. I think that they just kind of need to probably do like a minor trade / tweak type of thing. They need to go out there and get another big guy. I've not really been like a Tristan Thompson all that much. They could do something like get like an Andre Drummond, then I suppose that would be a little bit interesting. I don't think they need to go the route of like trying to trade Kemba Walker, though. I just think they need to do some minor tweaks to the roster, get everybody healthy, get the chemistry going. And I do think the Boston Celtics, who are currently 14-14 on the season, man, I think they'll be fine. But I don't know if I would do anything too drastic. All right, next up for the Brooklyn Nets, I also think that they should do, a minor trade tweak, and that means just getting somebody like a JaVale McGee, somebody along those lines, man. So they don't really need to go out there do anything too crazy. You already have like the best scoring trio, probably damn near NBA history, at least top two, at the damn Golden State Warriors team and everything like that, man. But yeah, you don't really need to go out and get like some big name center that's going to throw off the offense and stuff like that. Just trade for a JaVale McGee. Put some more depth over there, that center spot, you'll be completely good. I mean, if you could really talk him into it, maybe even give him a draft pick, you might be able to get like Hassan Whiteside from the Kings. That might be something, really worth looking into, guys. Alrighty, so next up we have the Chicago Bulls. Now, I'm looking, I think about the Bulls roster, really. I don't really see them trading like Zach LaVine. I guess if they really wanted to trade like Lauri Markkanen, they could do that, but I don't know if you really do that this season. I'd rather see, an entire season of that kind of like this core playing together and kind of like reevaluating it. So I think going into the trade deadline, you probably don't do much right now for the Chicago Bulls, man. Like I said, if there's a big name star to trade for, sure you can go for it. But I would keep Zach LaVine, and yeah, I think they'll probably be fine. We'll kind of readdress this one once the offseason comes up. We'll probably do this type of video again here, man. All right, next up we got the LA Clippers. I don't really think they need to do much of anything. They're currently 21-9 on the season, still have some of the best depth in the NBA. Not really too much to do for this trade deadline. Next up we have the Hornets, and okay, so this is interesting because obviously, they're going all with LaMelo Ball. They got Terry Rozier, who's been playing great. Devontae Graham. I still feel like one of those three guys needs to go, and I think the odd man out in that case would probably be Devontae Graham. So I'm going to say trade for a quality star. If you can get something back from Devontae Graham, who I believe is on an expiring contract, if you can go out there and get a center, maybe toss in Cody Zeller in the trade or something like that, man, that'd be kind of nice. Go for the big John Collins name. That'd be fantastic. But for the most part, a quality star would definitely help this Hornets team out even more. They are currently 13 and 15 on the season, guys. Okay, next up we have the Cleveland Cavaliers. They need to do a rebuild type of trade, and what I mean by that is they need to trade away Kevin Love. Kevin Love needs to go. Andre Drummond, he needs to go. Have that be trade or just buying him out. Whatever gets it done, man. At the end of the day, it's going to happen sooner rather than later, at least for one of those guys being Drummond. So, yeah, that's going to help their rebuild. I mean, right now, they had a really good hot start to the season, but right now they're 10 and 19, so just continues the rebuild, continues to up some salary cap, maybe get some a draft pick or something. So, yeah, that'd be pretty solid, man. Okay, next up, we have the Denver Nuggets, who are 15 and 13. Okay, so I think for them, they need to do some role player type of stuff out there, guys. This team's obviously missing Jeremy Grant and Mason Plumlee this season. Michael Porter's been good at times. He's also been really bad at times. Jokic is playing like a damn MVP. But when it comes down to, I think what made the Denver Nuggets so good last year is just all the depth they had. And, yeah, I just feel like they're kind of missing out on some of those quality veteran players off the bench. So they can get somebody that will be a good move for them. Alrighty, next up we have the Houston Rockets. And to be quite honest, this one's... Oh, man, how do I want to think about the Houston Rockets, Ray? The Rockets are currently 11 and 17, so I'm kind of in the realm of either do nothing because, they've already done, like, big trades and stuff this season, or a rebuild type of trade, and what I mean by that is trading away Victor Oladipo, who we are not quite sure wants to be on this team next season, and I'm honestly leaning towards that. Like, if the team's not making the playoffs this year, you might as well trade Victor Oladipo. Like, if you even have, like, for a second guess that he wants to be somewhere else, then I think you probably trade him away, so... Yeah, what was in that trade again, man? Why am I completely forgetting? Oh, yeah, it was Karis LeVert. It was like a damn 10-team trade or whatever. Yeah, I think you probably get rid of Victor Oladipo. Get something back for him, help the rebuild and stuff, man. Next up, we got the Los Angeles Lakers. So the Lakers are always in talks when it comes to, definitely like rumors and stuff like that, man. And, I honestly can't think of anything they really need to do. And that's kind of the focus of this video. I guess, yes, if there's a chance that Drummond wants to sign with the Lakers, sure, you do it. Why not, man? If you can get him bought out by the Cavaliers and damn give him $2 million to pay for the rest of the season, you definitely do that. But this team doesn't really need to do anything. They don't really need to do anything. Alrighty, next up we have the Milwaukee Bucks. So the Bucks are 16 and 12 on the season. I'm actually looking at the Eastern Conference, man. It's nobody's really, like, outshined. Like, obviously the 76ers are playing really good in the Nets, but for the most part, man, like, it's pretty damn close in the Eastern Conference. So, I still like Chris Middleton. Brook Lopez looks old. I think that it would do well for them to trade for a quality starter. And if that means somehow convincing, like, the Pacers to give up Miles Turner, I don't really know the trade that you do to do that. But if you can convince them to do something like that, man, get a guy that's similar to Brook Lopez, a guy that can knock down the three and block shots, but just is better at it than Brook Lopez is now. You definitely try to pull that off. Maybe some sort of trade, get like Serge Ibaka from the Clippers. I don't really know, man, but I still feel like this Bucks team is missing some sort of like spark in the short term that's going to help them out in the long term. Okay, for the Miami Heat, I think this team needs to trade for a star. Have that be go for Bradley Beal, go for Victor Oladipo. I know he's not really considered a star anymore, but like I said before, man, like bringing on Blake Griffin, something like that to jumpstart this team. They are currently 11 and 17, which in my opinion is inexcusable for a team that was the defending Eastern Conference champs. Like, I understand injuries happen, but still, man, I just think this team needs to do something to jumpstart it. And, and to do that, like, I still would not give up Jimmy or Bam. But if there's some sort of trade, I don't think I would give up Tyler Hero either, man. It depends on the trade. But, yeah, this team definitely needs to do something to jumpstart them. All right, next up we got the Dallas Mavericks. They are currently 13 and 15 on the season. I'm going to say this team probably needs to trade for a quality starter. I like Luka Doncic, obviously. I like Kristaps Porzingis. This team just needs like that solidified third option, though. Like, for the most part, the Dallas Mavericks have been built the past few seasons off of Luka, Steve Nash effect. Literally making a role player look like a good quality starter out there, man. So they got like Tim Hardaway they could trade away. I believe he's on an expiring deal. I still like the idea of maybe Victor Oladipo on this team or taking a chance on Andre Drummond, going for that quality starter. So now that I do think about it, I do think that the Celtics, I have to put them into the quality starter category because I was talking about like Drummond or going for like a Blake Griffin or something like that with them. So I'm going to say a quality starter for them. All right, next up we have the Pelicans. I mean, the Pelicans have been disappointing this season, no doubt. I think what they need to do, and this one's going to come off as weird. I don't think the Pelicans are quite rebuilding. I guess in a way they're still trying to get, they're still getting things together. But I'm going to say a rebuild type of trade. And what I mean by that, man, is, giving up like Eric Bledsoe and JJ Redick. You don't really need those veterans on this team this season, and you can get something back for them to continue to get this team rebuilding in the right direction, everything like that, man. So, yeah, I'm going to say a rebuild type of trade. Maybe Steven Adams. I still did not like that, what was it, signing or trade, whatever the hell it was in the first place. So, yeah. Okay, for the Knicks, I'm going to say do nothing. They've already, brought in Derrick Rose, so they're kind of set. I guess if you want to get, a little crispy with it, you could talk about maybe bringing in, like, a center since Mitchell Robinson's out for some time. But Nerlens Noel does fine, and, yeah, I don't really think they got to do much of anything. OKC Thunder, I'm going to say a rebuild type of trade. I mean, this team already has so many assets as is. But, you can always have more, right, man? You can always have more. And they got guys like George Hill and Al Horford on the team that, Al Horford's a little difficult to trade away, but like a George Hill, you could trade him and maybe get like a second-round pick for him or something. So I think if that's available, you definitely go for that. Next up, we have the Orlando Magic. The Magic have been a team that have been plagued with injuries this season. I don't think in the short term there's much this team should do. At this point, like, when completely healthy, the Magic actually have a pretty damn solid team, assuming Markelle Fultz coming back healthy and Jonathan Isaac. Obviously, the injuries really suck and everything, but I'm going to say for the rest of this season, do nothing. You already have a really good team. Just you got bit by the injury bug, and you can tank this season, get yourself a good draft pick, man. You get you a top 5, top 10 pick or something like that, and continue to add on to what you got going on over there. Okay, so for the Portland Trailblazers 18-10 on the season. Okay, I'm going to say trade for a quality starter. I'm still waiting for them to kind of like, go for that big name power forward. Now, all the guys I'm about to name, I don't know if I would put them in the star category anymore, but I would love to see them go for LaMarcus Aldridge, bring him back from one last rodeo on the Portland Trailblazers. Go for Kevin Love, like we've been saying for damn 3 years now. Maybe a Paul Millsap even for the Nuggets. I don't really know, man. Just something out there. Like I said, like when I think of the Trailblazers, it's Dame time, CJ McCollum, and then it's whoever feels like playing good that night. Have that be Carmelo Anthony at times, or Gary Trent Jr. It's like somebody like that, but they need like that solidified guy where it's like he can be a go-to, maybe when CJ's injured or something like that, man. So I'm going to say trade for a quality starter. For the Indiana Pacers, this is a team that I always have so many struggles when it comes to like talking about trades with them because on paper, this team looks really good. This is a really good team on paper, man. And we haven't really seen Karis LeVert do too much. Well, he hasn't played at all yet. So I'm going to say do nothing, just in the sense that like we just haven't seen Karis play. They've already done a big time trade getting rid of Victor Oladipo. So yeah, do nothing. And you got you're fourth in the Eastern Conference. The Detroit Pistons. Okay. I think this obviously is a rebuild type of trade. I'm going to give you two different scenarios, actually really 3 scenarios that I would be okay with. Obviously getting rid of Blake Griffin. We can do that, man, for literally anything that doesn't involve us trading away draft picks or young players. If we can somehow get rid of Blake Griffin, I'm going to stretch out his contract. I don't know if we get both those things, but if we can, like I will sign, I'll give Troy Weaver GM of the year right now, man. Beyond that, I'm still kind of in the realm of I would be okay with trading away DeLon Wright and or Mason Plumlee. Just for the, for the sake, Mason Plumlee in particular is like, he's been pretty solid based off his contract this season, despite me roasting him on my second channel, Extra Crispy, a lot. But, he's a 30-year-old center, just doesn't really fit into the future of the team. So, yeah, I think right now with stocks at an all-time high, you get something back for that. All right, we got the Sacramento Kings. Okay, the Kings are 12-15 on the year. Do you trade Marvin Bagley? Do you get something for Hassan Whiteside on that really cheap-ass contract? Do you move on from Buddy Hield or Harrison Barnes? I guess maybe I could say do like a minor trade or tweak. I don't really see this team doing anything big time going into free agency though, man. But, if you can, get something back from Marvin or Harrison or just do nothing at all, that's fine too. But I'm kind of feel maybe a minor tweak to the team would be okay. For the Phoenix Suns, I'm still would like to see them trade for a quality starter at that 4 spot. I do like Cam Johnson. I think Cam Johnson's a big, almost said a different word, man. A big part of the Phoenix Suns' future. He's really good. Mikal Bridges has been great. Obviously, you got that all-star backcourt. But CP3 is not exactly young, so I think it's a good time to make a run at, man. They're 17-10. They've been a great team in the Western Conference. So once again, go for one of those small-term power forwards. Kevin Love's and Marcus Aldridge. That kind of fits in this little window with CP3. And yeah, we'll go with that. Alrighty, man. Next up, we got the San Antonio Spurs, 16-11 on the season. DeMar DeRozan's been nice. You know, the young bloods on the team been great. I'm still, like, in the realm where this team needs to, like, kind of maybe trade LaMarcus Aldridge. I mean, obviously, Spurs fans are going to be like, well, we're 16-11. But, you know, if you don't think you're going to win a championship, then I think it's a good opportunity to maybe sell some of these older assets. While you got a good record, while you can back it up saying, hey, we're a pretty good team this year, man. Like, you know, why is LaMarcus Aldridge? We'll take, protect your first round pick for him. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. All right. For the 76ers, they're good. 19-10. I'm going to say do nothing. This team's been great. Not much I can really say about them, man. For the Toronto Raptors, 13-15. I'm going to say trade for a quality starter. The center position outside of Chris Boucher has been pretty weak. Fred VanVleet's been great. You know, Kyle Lowry, this is where it gets a little sensitive topic right there for the Raptor fans. It's like you could trade for a quality starter, but it might result in you having to trade away Kyle Lowry. So if you're not willing to do that, I guess say do nothing. But I guess you got guys like Norman Powell. There's been talks of bringing in Drummond to this team, which is kind of interesting, I guess. So, yeah, man. Okay, next up we have the Utah Jazz. I'm going to say probably do nothing. I can't really for the life of me think of what this team absolutely needs. They're top in the Western Conference right now. You know, the team's really clicking. Mike Conley looks rejuvenated. So, yeah, that's fine, man. Alrighty, next up we have the Golden State Warriors, 16-13 on the season. I mean, I guess you could always use maybe a little bit of help, you know, a little veteran help off the bench or something. So I'm going to say maybe if you can bring in like a good role player for the bench, that'd be fine. Team's been having some injury issues this season again, but yeah, maybe a minor tweak would be fine. All right, next up for the Wizards, rebuild type of trade, guys. It's got to happen, man. They are 9-17 on the season. Russell Westbrook, Bradley Beal. You know, Russell Westbrook could put some numbers, but it's not leading to W's for this team here, man, when he plays. It's time to rebuild. It's just time to do it, man. It's just time to do it. Memphis Grizzlies, another team that's had some, you know, struggles this year, but I like their, you know, mainly because of injuries and stuff, but I like what their roster has going on. They're 500 on the season. They have a lot of young players on the team. I'm going to say do nothing. I don't really think this team needs to do anything right now. For the Minnesota Timberwolves, another team that just needs to stay healthy, but if you can trade for a quality power forward, like I said earlier, man, like John Collins, you're in a good place. Anthony Edwards, like, he's going to break out to a star sooner rather than later, I believe. So, I mean, when it comes down to it, you could go with the whole Anthony Edwards, Malik Beasley rotation, but I think this team at this point needs to go all into Anthony Edwards. I think you have a good, you know, 18 point per game quality starter in Malik Beasley that can be traded for something that this team actually needs right now. You don't really need a shooting guard because you already have, you know, your investment on the first pick in the draft, Anthony Edwards, man. So, yeah, I think they need to go for a quality start at that forward spot. But that's all we got, man. I think this was actually pretty fun. I actually enjoyed this. I really want to do this in the offseason again here, too. But, yeah, hopefully you guys all enjoyed it. If you agree or disagree, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.